For more resources, visit rymonline.org.
The Local Youth Worker is a daily podcast that's centered on 5 questions each week. Ranging from the practical to the professional, we're looking for answers to the questions you're asking. Whether you're in full-time, part-time, or even volunteer youth ministry, this podcast is for you.
All right, everybody, we're back with Ryan Hughs. If you've been joining us the past 2 days, we've been talking to Ryan. He's out in Colorado State University in Fort Collins, Colorado. We talked about advice he would give to youth workers as well as trends he's seeing on college campuses. And now today, what are some practical ways youth workers can come alongside RUF campus ministers, and I say as well as other campus ministries? But at RYM, we love to support RUF. I mean, speaking personally, RUF played a big role in my life. And so I guess maybe briefly, and I should have had you do this the first day, do you want to just tell us what RUF is a little bit? We jumped into that and kind of assuming things, but you can just tell us a little bit about what RUF is and then how practically youth workers can come alongside you guys.
Yeah, sure. I'm more than glad to, because this is a part of my story also, RUF, and I'm here, whatever I am. Being at this moment, I am what I am because of RUF, at least my love for Jesus. So yeah, RUF stands for Reformed University Fellowship, and it is the campus ministry of the Presbyterian Church in America. It's our denominational mission to the college campus in the world. And so my story in RUF started when I was a freshman in college in New Mexico State University, of all places. At that time, there wasn't an RUF ministry farther west than, I don't know, the center of Texas somewhere.
Wow.
And so somehow New Mexico State University, of all states and of all places, we got an RUF campus minister. And the one thing, and I started when I was a freshman, and I was 96, I guess, and it was just starting when I was a freshman. The one thing I say about RUF, and the one thing that it's formed me, if I just say one thing, is that I learned through the ministry of my campus minister in college, and just through the ethos of what RUF is, because of our Reformed theology, the thing that I learned and impacted me the most is that Jesus loves me, the real me. He has grace for the real me. He knows my real sin. In fact, he died for my real sin. And in fact, it's not until I recognize that I have real sin that Jesus' death means anything. And being able to process through it, I have somebody tell me for 4 years of my life, the abundant, overwhelming grace of Jesus to me, it transformed my life and so many others. And that's just the one thing we do. If we're, I feel like RUF is we have a lot of different things that we do, but if we were a one-trick pony, we're almost a one-trick pony. It's that trick. It is the grace of Jesus over and abundant over everything. And that's what shapes who I am and how I do ministry, and that's part of my
Excellent.
story. So.
Yeah, that's good. Like I said, we probably should have asked you that on the first day in case people didn't know what RUF was, just kind of assuming. But that's awesome and that's helpful, and I would affirm that. I mean, one thing I was talking about with Brian Sorgenfrey was, if I had a nickel for every time a RUF minister said, if you have to skip something, skip RUF large group and go to church on Sunday. They're all about the local church, and it's beautiful. I mean, that's what RYM is about as well, as serving the local church. And so kind of bringing us back around to that question of how youth workers can come alongside RUF campus ministers and help and funnel students into RUF campus ministries. What are some practical ways they can do that?
This is one of the things that I am very curious to hear say what some of the other campus ministers in the other parts of the country would say, because I have a feeling this may be very different from that because of my context. Because the reality is that, well, the church overall, I mean, the evangelical church has such a small presence overall in the culture where I'm from and currently serving. But even more than that, the Presbyterian Church in America and even RUF has such a small footprint. So my answer to that is honestly, well, it's two things. It's one, we need to be friends if you're out here. Have me at your meeting. Like we need to connect. We need to care for these students long term. Like I want like my vision for how this could and should work in the West out here is for the the youth workers. I mean, in our denomination, in our context, at least, and whoever else I can make friends with that is on board with what I'm trying to do, is for us to know each other and to have our even the high school students know who I am, have some cross connection there, and so that we can continue to be the church for them on the college campus. That doesn't mean we require like every high school student coming out of a Presbyterian or Reformed church to go to RUF. That's not what I mean. I just mean if we're going to be the church and be long haul with these students, I want there to be like a relational connection skipping that. And honestly, that doesn't happen very often out here because of there aren't that many of us. And it's not, there are so many colleges and universities, and we have so few RUFs in terms of our concentration. Like there's 2 in the state of Colorado and none north of here all the way to Canada.
Two PCA churches in the entire state?
Two RUF ministries in the state of Colorado. Yeah, sorry. No, I think we have 20-some in Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana. PCA churches,
20.
Maybe 20, 21.
Okay.
Yeah. We're planting more, but, and the closest RUF to me is like, I don't know, a 10-hour drive, 12-hour drive. So it's, but anyway, for that connectional thing to happen intentionally between us, and going forward. Honestly, it would help me as an RUF campus minister if high school students were looking for RUF when they came to college, to Colorado State University, which doesn't happen often,
Yeah.
So that would be one thing. But the other thing is we need youth workers in the West. I'm about to like eat my mic. I'm saying we need youth workers in the West. If you're a youth worker, we need you out here. Once you out here, we need help. Our churches are smaller. They're growing. Not as much help. We need people who are passionate about the church and about the gospel to be youth workers out here and to come out here. The culture's different, and to stick it out and to be brave. The culture's different, but we're just people. It's harder to raise money, but we're people. There's so much opportunity. So I want to like recruit people who want to do the work out here and just help us sort of mentor our high school students along, and that would help a lot.
Man, that's eye-opening to hear that. I mean, I was kind of curious how you would answer this question, just being out here in Colorado, knowing that churches are spread out, that they are sparse. There's not as many, RUFs, as you said, as well as just PCA churches in general, as well as youth workers. So that's encouraging to hear that because, in my context in Mississippi, there's a definite relationship between the RUF campus minister and the church. And, we email when our seniors are graduating, heading off to, the campus. We notify the RUF campus ministers and say, here's their name, here's their phone number, harass them and get them to come to RUF. But we've already kind of paved the way for them. So, but that's just interesting. You kind of the first where you were going is just the emphasis on community and trying to, get churches to know who you are, to have them in your church and get to know some of these families even. And so that way they just kind of know to be looking for RUF as they show up on your campus. So that's helpful to hear that. Anything else you want to add to that?
No, not really.
All right.
No,
Sure.
Of course we're trying out here. I mean, some of the things just to keep aware of, not all of your listeners understand, but RUF is actually pretty new in the West. We haven't been here that long. So what we're doing now, just so that everybody understands the context, is we are now we're doing the best we can. So we're building those traditions. The things that you're saying now, well, in our culture, well, it's not fair. You have 40 years to do it, right?
Yeah,
so,
sure. Exactly.
We've had 5, 10, 12 maybe in some cases. So we're building those traditions now. And we need help building those traditions of doing church. I joke, but it's really, it's kind of a joke, but there's also a lot of sincerity to it. It was good for me, from New Mexico, going into RUF, where the culture is Southern and honestly more churchy, if I can say that. But what that taught me is like how to do church. Like you all do the social, you know how to care for each other. Church is you just understand and have more intuition. I mean, you don't have to think about it as much, but you can teach us how to be more connectional and do community better. Because all we want to do is go climb a mountain or go swim in some alpine lake with we commune with God in nature, right? More quickly than with people, honestly. And it's so different. And we need people to teach us how to do church and people community better.
Yeah.
So come on out here.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, part of it is y'all have nature to commune with.
That's
There are
true.
some places where, the mountains just absolutely glorious out here. So anyway, well, that's helpful, Ryan. Thanks a lot.